On a bone-chilling Boston night, January 17, 1950, the city huddled under a thick, unforgiving blanket of snow that muffled every sound like a thief's whisper. Streetlights flickered like wary eyes through the relentless swirl of flakes, casting long, jagged shadows across the North End's labyrinth of narrow alleys, where the air carried the faint aroma of simmering garlic and coal smoke from immigrant kitchens. Families crammed into tenements, their windows glowing with the warm flicker of oil lamps, dreaming of better days amid the grind of post-war life. But in this frozen hush, a band of masked phantoms emerged from the darkness, one grinning grotesquely behind the bold red mask of comic book icon Captain Marvel, his yellow lightning bolt now a bolt of terror. With hearts pounding like war drums, they stormed Brink's Incorporated, pulling off the most electrifying heist America had ever witnessed, vanishing into the blizzard with millions in tow. What followed was a pulse-racing saga of cunning plots, brutal betrayals, and a dogged hunt that clawed back justice from the jaws of the perfect crime. This is the electrifying tale of the great Brink's robbery, a legend that still sends shivers down spines. The cold that night wasn't just whether it was a predator, sinking its teeth into every exposed inch of skin, turning breaths into foggy plumes that danced and died in the air. At 165 Prince Street, the squat brick stronghold of Brink's loomed like a silent sentinel, its armored trucks long gone, leaving behind a vault brimming with the day's treasures. Sacks swollen with crisp greenbacks, stacks of checks fluttering like captured birds, and securities worth fortunes. 5 employees, their fingers numb from the haul, shuffled through their routine under the harsh buzz of overhead lights. The scent of fresh ink mingled with the metallic tang of coins as they joked about the storm outside. Bet the wife's got soup on the stove, oblivious to the storm brewing at their doorstep, lurking in the ink-black alleys, where icicles dangled like daggers from fire escapes and the wind howled like a vengeful ghost. 5 to 7 men slithered forward with the stealth of panthers on the prowl. These weren't fumbling crooks chasing a quick score. They were hardened wolves of the underworld, their scheme forged in the fires of months-long obsession, rehearsed until every move was muscle memory. Footsteps vanished into silent scrape, soles gliding like whispers for one, rubber overshoes swallowing crunches for the rest. Bulky navy peacoats swallowed their silhouettes, chauffeurs' caps tugged low over brows etched with determination, gloves snug as second skin to erase any trace. But their faces, oh, those were the stuff of nightmares, cheap Halloween masks twisting ordinary men into monsters. And leading the pack, one wore the vivid red mask of Captain Marvel, his heroic grin warped into a sneer of menace, the yellow bolt slashing across like a scar. Words were sparse, mere grunts in the gloom, born from endless drills in some dank hideout where blueprints sprawled like battle maps. Clocks ticked down seconds, and contingencies were ironclad. This audacious plot didn't spring from thin air, it simmered since 1947, back when Brink squatted on Federal Street. Anthony Fats Pino, a stocky Italian immigrant who'd slipped into America as a kid but dodged citizenship like a warrant, dreamed it up, with a rap sheet snaking through burglaries and a deportation noose tightening since 1941. Pino was the caseman, a wizard at dissecting targets, teaming with Joseph, Big Joe McGinnis, a hulking overlord of Boston's shadows with scars from robbery and dope rackets. They first eyed hijacking a payroll truck, 2 dicey armed guards, roaring engines, chases through traffic. But when Brink's relocated to Prince Street in late 1948, the stars aligned. Pino pulled in Joseph Specs O'Keefe, a wiry Irish firecracker with nerves of steel, infamous for staring down gamblers at gunpoint without a blink, and Stanley Gus Gucciora, his burly sidekick in a string of brazen holdups. From rooftops on Prince and Snow Hill, they spied like hawks with binoculars, charting guard rotations, light flickers signaling activity, even the clink of locks echoing in their minds. Nights blurred into daring raids, locks pilfered under moonlight. Cylinders swapped out, keys forged by a bleary-eyed locksmith Pino charmed into late hours, never suspecting the devil's work. The breach was poetry in motion, a symphony of stealth that would make Houdini jealous. Those bootleg keys turned tumblers with buttery ease, slipping past 3 maybe 4 barricades, the gang ascending stairs like rising smoke. The vault door creaked open, and chaos exploded. Pistols whipped out, muzzles gleaming like fangs in the fluorescent glare. Down face down now. The bark sliced the air, freezing the workers mid-motion, their pulses thundering like freight trains. They hit the floor hard, faces grinding into cold tile as rope slashed wrists with brutal twists, drawing hisses of pain and beads of blood. Adhesive tape slapped over lips, its sticky, rubbery reek choking breaths into panicked gasps. In the whirlwind, one man's glasses clattered free, skittering into oblivion, a tiny enigma that would taunt detectives. The thieves pounced like starving jackals, ransacking sacks bulging with $1.2 million in cash that rustled like autumn leaves, plus $1.5 million in checks and bonds that promised empires. America's biggest score, a thunderclap heist that shattered records and ignited imaginations. Tension spiked when a buzzer blared like an alarm bell, halting the frenzy. Tape ripped from a captive's mouth. Who is it? Garage attendant once into robbers crouched by the door, fingers twitching on triggers, ready to drag him into the nightmare. But through the peephole, they watched him shrug and shuffle off into the snow, clueless as a lamb. Adrenaline surged. They bolted, heaving the loot into the waiting 1949 green Ford stakebody truck, its canvas top flapping like a cape in the wind. The engine snarled to life, tires spitting snow as it plunged into Boston's twisting veins, evading the first sirens that wailed like banshees. Inside, veteran guard Thomas Lloyd twisted against bonds, sweat stinging his eyes, until a hand broke free. Dialing with quaking fingers, his voice cracked like thunder. Brink's hit millions gone. Get here now. Cop cars screeched to Prince Street, beams slashing the disarray, vault gutted like a carcass. Ropes coiled venomously, tape roll abandoned, chauffeur's cap discarded like a crown from a fallen king. FBI agents stormed in, overcoats billowing, led by the steely Edward McNamara. Victims stammered details, the mask's grotesque leers, especially Captain Marvel's mocking bolt, the hushed commands, the ghostly footfalls, clues tantalized, ropes for fiber traces, tape for origins, cap for hairs. Stolen revolvers, serials like breadcrumbs waiting to lead home. No prints, but the orchestration screamed prose. The hunt roared to life, a blaze scorching Boston's underbelly. Scarred mobsters, purple gang relics, bootleg bandits from dry days were yanked from gin-soaked dives. Alibis shredded under glaring lights. The inferno spread. New York capos, Chicago thugs grilled on January whereabouts. North End doors pounded at all hours. Did you spot that truck lurking by the playground? Masked shadows, Brinks, vets, and Thames sweated interrogations. Couriers spilled layouts. Banks got stop alerts on marked loot. Freezing tainted cash. Headlines screamed crime of the century. Brink's $100,000 bounty, a king's ransom unleashing a tip tsunami. A collie crank claimed ocean burial. Divers churning harbor slime. Jailbirds sang cell tales. A Jersey Joe's flashy rides drew tales busted as gamblers' windfall. A 1952 anniversary call fingered 9-8 fizzled. O'Keefe ignited. Lock up, Bragg's free me, I'll sing echoed empty. Casinos tracks surveilled. Crooks fled the glare. February 1950. Mystic River revolver matched a Brink's piece. Twin in trash. Truck remnants in Stoughton. Dump torched. Hammered burlap shrouded from beef crates dead-ended. But Stoughton's link to O'Keefe Gusiora sizzled. Pinot surfaced as puppet master, alibi slick but porous, home till 7. McGinnis chat with a cope brings a quick dash away. McGinnis, racket lord with bloody hands, feigned innocence but stank of guilt. O'Keefe, Gusiora, Pinot's muscle, slurred bar tales. April 1950, O'Keefe kin stash raided cash but no ties. June duo nabbed in Pennsylvania mid-burglary spree. O'Keefe 3 years, Gusiora 5 to 20 whispers. Pinot, McGinnis, Jazz, Maffey, Baker, bankrolled defense. Big job echoes, Maffey, flashy, no alibi, gambler. Baker, Pinot fetched paroli, vague wonder. Costa, Pinot's kin, robbery vet. 7 p.m. pivot, Geegan, Richardson, parolees, Faherty, heist pro. Banfield, driver ace died 1955 amid their rumors. 7 p.m. alibis screamed setup. 1952 federal jury flopped masks, blinded IDs, lip sealed. Pinot beat deportation in 1955, supreme win. O'Keefe, freed, 1954, chased charges, seethed over skimmed aid, Maffey taxed, Baker bolted betrayal talk. May 1954, O'Keefe's Costa kidnap, ransom squeeze partial payoff. June, ambushes windshield shattered, gunfights, O'Keefe winged, Triggerberg collared with Tommy gun gang hitman, O'Keefe jailed safe, ally vanished, whacked, Faherty revoked. McGinnis still busted, Pinot snagged, near Burke escape, slipped free, Burke nabbed, fried. 1955. O'Keefe's prison fury boiled demands ignored. He cracked 2 FBI. January 6, 1956. Spill. Pinot's 47 spark. 48 reboot. Rooftop spies. Locks nicked. Alarms pinched. Truck swiped. Dry runs. Costa flashing. Heist night. Roxbury huddle. Crew crammed. Banfield wheels. Costa eyes. Masks torn. Vault raid. Bindings tight. Buzzer jolt. Loot haul. Maffey's unload. Shares sliced. O'Keefe shorted. Venom brewed. Arrests January 12, 6 caged. Fugitives snared May. Indicts flew. June 1956. Moldy loot in cooler traced. Rotted Gusiora. Tumafeld. August trial. O'Keefe's damning recital. Guilt slammed. Lifers handed. Peels crumbled 59. Legacy pulses. Films like Friedkin's The Brink's Job. Books immortalizing. Genre shaper oceans to heat. Missing millions. Buried myths. Mask preserved. Grinning. Crime's folly. North End whispers. Creed's curse unravels all.